even though the auditorium is not full, we are going to start at the time. It's already, we're too late actually. Okay, today we have this plan. We will start by presenting the Constitution, and then we'll continue by presenting our projects as a student government, since we didn't have a chance to do this presentation in the spring quarter because of the circumstances that were created then. Just briefly, I will tell you what did we change in this Constitution and how did we come to these changes. It was me, A.U.K, and A.U.K who worked more intensively in this Constitution. We took as a base the old Constitution of A.U.K Student Government and constitutions of Harvard University, Kosovo University, and A.U.K, American University in Bulgaria. Of course we took the principles of those constitutions and we tried to adapt them with the circumstances of A.U.K. And also this constitution was reviewed by Professor A.U.K. He gave us some suggestions, and Professor Yusuf-Osmani, who of course is her profession to deal with these issues. What did we change? Preambles is basically the same. It just tells that this constitution is constitution of students of A.U.K and makes the A.U.K student government the representative of all students enrolled at A.U.K. We'll go next to the section 1. Here we define the name of the student government and the structure and the purpose. The name, of course, is American University in Kosovo Student Government. We have an emblem, and it should be used only by us. Or if we decide on a delegate, we can use this. It's only with our permission. While the structure is, there are two bodies of student government: this executive committee and the student senate. Then we go to the purpose. I won't go point by point because it's no, this slide. It's a bit long, but the other side. The other next. But it just tells that the student government is the representative of all students, regular students enrolled at A.U.K. We are the voice of the students. Student government also is the bridge between the A.U.K staff and faculty and the students, represent the students outside A.U.K and also tries to, and of course this is one of the main rules, to improve the life of students here at A.U.K. And this is the main change that we did is the structure of student senate. The executive committee basically is the same. We only added project coordinators, and these are non-voting members for the sole reason because these are not directly elected by the vote of students. These are students of A.U.K appointed by the president of student government. Therefore, they do not have the right to vote, but they do a lot of jobs inside the student government because they participate in the meetings, they give their ideas and try to implement later those ideas in organizing events and everything that the student government does. The main changes in the student senate: before we had 5 senators, one for each generation, and a chairman of the senate, a chair of the senate, who could be chosen by all generations. But now, in order to increase the level of representation, we decided, and this decision made by all students of A.U.K because they all gave their input, we have for each generation 2 senators, and this is how the election on Thursday are going to be rejected. So each one of you will choose 2 senators for your own generation to represent you on the Senate. Elections. The main change here is that we no longer have the GPA of the student as a criterion for them to run for the executive committee. So before it was 3.0, we had to have a GPA of 3.0 in order to run for the president or vice president, but this is a decision taken by all students. They don't want GPA to be a determinant of should run and who should not run for the student executive committee. Also, we decided on the time when the election should be held. The elections for executive committee are going to be held no more than 3 weeks before the end of spring, no later, the spring term, while the Senate will be elected during the 2 weeks of the fall semester, the next year. Also, we decided for the campaign rules. This was done because of respect that the running candidates should have for each other's campaigns, and in order to not manipulate the elections. I will go through them. You have in your emails of the Constitution if you want to read it in details. Okay, we go to the vacancies, section 4. A vacancy occurs anytime that a member of executive committee or a senator does not comply with the duties that person has. Of course, it can happen because of resignation. They can resign due to any reason, but also if they are absent and do not perform their duties well, they can be voted by the Senate to be removed from the office. If the president position becomes vacant, the vice president assumes that position, while the vice president will be chosen from the new president, and anyone can be appointed. Anyone of the student, any student, regular student. While if the position of senator becomes vacant, then what happens is that, for example, now we have 5 senators running for freshman senators. For example, if one of them, two of the students who get the most votes, they will become senators, but if one of them resigns, then the third one will assume the position. We worked on the duties of each of the members. I wouldn't go through them because of the time and energy that this is a very busy week, so you can read through them. The secretary, I just wanted to mention that the president has the veto power. We didn't change that because we wanted to make a kind of balance of powers. Senate, if the president does not perform the duty well, has the right to impeach the president. But also the president, if he or she sees that the Senate is about to approve something that is not adequate for the university, can use the veto power. So just a balance. Attendance is very important. So 3 to 4 attendant absences, and that member of the executive committee or Senate will be voted by the Senate if that person should be let out of the office. Meetings, quorum is important here. We thought that it is important to have a quorum defined as 3/4 of votes of all votes represent members in the meeting. And what we added, this is all new, is the constitutional amendments and bylaws. To have this constitution enabled, 2/3 of the students voting on Thursday need to be in favor of it. And this is what happens in all, this is the goal that should be achieved in all referendums. But if one of the students or senators have proposals on how to change this constitution, because of course the situation will change from now and there will be changes needed in the constitution, we have worked on the amendments. This is the last slide. Amendments that can be either proposed by the student through a referendum or by the vote of the Senate. Okay, so this was the constitution. I would like to open a short discussion. If any of you are present here today wants to add something or is not very sure that what we put today is going to function well.
Can you explain again the election process?
Election process for the student Senate?
For the senators.
The senators. So you have seen that we have opened the application for the senators. sent the list of candidates, and on Thursday you will have to vote. You will vote only for the senators who apply for your own generation. For example, you are a sophomore.
Yes.
You cannot vote for the juniors or for the seniors. You will vote for your own senators, and you will choose 2 names. You can choose 2 names if you want. You can choose only one, but you have the right to choose 2 names because there will be 2 senators for each generation. And those 2 senators who will get the most votes, biggest number of votes, they will be your representatives.
Will the senators like present themselves? Like have a campaign or something?
I have opened the campaign yesterday. They have the right to campaign or not, but they have sent a paragraph, each of them, why they want to run and what their goals are, and you have those in your email. I believe you have seen those.
Yes.
Which candidate, we have the pictures there to recognize the faces.
Thank you.
Any other question?
I noticed that I think it was for sophomores, there are 2 people running for senators.
For juniors and seniors.
Or for juniors and seniors. Does that mean that you said that 2 senators already are going to be chosen?
Yes.
So does that mean that the generation does not have to vote?
They don't become senators automatically. They still need to have your votes in order to become. It's more like a referendum. If you want to have these representatives or not, but it's important for you to vote because this will legitimate their positions and their job in the Senate. Still, you have to vote.
But it's just a formality because you're going to circle 2 names if there are 2 names. Right?
If you want, you can circle just 1.
So if he has 0 votes, he will not. One of them.
Of course, people don't want to have that person as representative. Most probably after that, if that happens, we will open another, another time running time to, yeah, we'll do re-election.
First and foremost, to answer this last question, I think even in the case of Rineta, we discussed this when there were no elections last year. I think for legitimacy purposes, it's important that even though there is one candidate that you get an approval, even if it means that it's 1 vote, it gives legitimacy to the process. The questions that I have from the Constitution is that I don't understand why, because I read there, if a senator resigns, then the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th, but let's assume you have the 2 senators who are the only ones who ran. One of them resigns, it means that you will appoint the senator as president. I don't understand why you didn't do a re-election for 1 position.
In that case, we will do re-elections.
Because it said there the president will appoint, so
Will appoint the senator?
yes, that's what it said.
No, the project coordinators, not the senators. The senators cannot be appointed. Or maybe the words used are wrong. The senators will be elected by as they are in the vote daily. This is what happened.
If there is no eligible willing candidate to serve as senator, the president and vice president shall propose a candidate.
They propose, but they do not appoint them. Right?
You propose and the Senate proposes.
Yes.
No election.
We did that because it's very difficult to actually have all
Next time I would suggest that there is a longer campaign time because it's what is now. You've opened the campaign yesterday and the elections it's not enough. The students have, regardless of the fact that you might think that they're not that interested this time, I think it's important to give enough time to students to question. And the most important question for me is the relationship of the student government with student clubs.
We don't get it.
Yeah? It's not in the Constitution, it's not...
We have...
Because I assume that you will have a budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I assume
Actually,
that the
this
best
is
thing would be for the student clubs to be registered with the student government, of course approved by the administration, but it also gives importance to the student government in terms of dividing the budget between the student clubs. There will be an interest by the students to have representatives who will have a say But let's say more people want the sports clubs to be funded more, some people want the debate clubs. In Bulgaria, when we had we had a $12,000 budget. It was not that much, but that made the participation in all elections above 70%, because all of the students were involved in some student club, one way or another. We had people in the chess club who were very organized. They always had a senator within the Senate because they thought that chess is important. Who are we to say yes or no? So that's very important to have as an incentive for student participation in the elections. And last question is about the Constitution. You said it will require 2/3 of the votes. So it means if 3 people vote, 2 in favor, the Constitution will pass. You have no minimum participation requirement.
We didn't stop.
Okay. Because that was the problem last time. 9 students
No
voted.
students.
It's not.
Exactly, but this time we have voting campaign in this Constitution quite a lot. And the purpose that we did that at the same time, the student senate elections, is that as people will come to vote for
They
their
will
friends,
vote
they
for
will
them.
vote for their friends as well. It's kind of thought that as a strategy. And for the other question, for the clubs, we have a paragraph. Thank you for reminding me, because I know I missed it and didn't mention. It's in the section 4. It should be, I think. We can go through that. It basically said that how is the procedure for a club to become a club. So any student with an idea should fulfill the form. There is a form in the Student Government website. Then this will be approved by the student government, and they will, if there are an active club, and this is very important, active club, they will receive funds. Yeah. There is a paragraph of that. We added that, but I missed it during the presentation. I'm sorry. Any other comments?
Can you define active club, like just doing projects, just doing things?
Doing projects, valuable projects, interesting ones, because
Like
we had the cases of clubs that only were created, but they didn't do anything. Of course. Okay. I would go now with the presentation of student projects. If this discussion is included here. I think there are no other comments. Just briefly, I will mention what we did through these 5 weeks, and the reason why we run this late on the campaign for senators was so short, is that we have to work on the Constitution, and this made it. And of course, now we had to make it short because we didn't know how to make it a student senators or 5, or because of the changes. And of course, with the time set in the Constitution now, it will be much better for the years to come to organize this the elections. Oh, okay. We organized together with the A.U.K staff and faculty the orientation day to welcome the freshmen. It was a successful event. We invited the students. Our duty as a student government was to invite the students to become active in the extracurricular activities here at the A.U.K. We tried to let them know what the A.U.K is all about, and they seemed very enthusiastic, and I hope they will actually preserve this enthusiasm throughout the weeks. Then we organized the welcome party. This is a traditional social event organized each year here to welcome the freshman class. People seem to have a lot of fun. A movie night, Arbor, thank you for that. Arbor organized and was quite successful. The auditorium was full, as it should be today as well. But okay. SG office, we have an office finally. It is in the blue building, 4th floor. So you just take the elevator, go to the last door, it's number 3 in the elevator, and you have a blue door there, that's the student government office. We will work on making this office open for the students. We will set a schedule for the members of the executive committee and student senate to stay there, maybe half an hour or an hour each. and students can go there, all the students can go there and talk to the student government about their ideas, about their complaints, and everything they have in mind, and that is related to the student government. We worked on a constitution, we already saw what we did. And one quarter capstone survey. This was an agreement between the student government and Dr. Bowen to, you know, the one quarter capstone existed last year. The seniors had to take, all the seniors had to take that to graduate. It's a bachelor thesis, you know, being in diplomas, but it was removed for this year, from this year curriculum at the UK. And the many students were not, were actually complaining why it was removed, because saw this one quarter capstone is very important for their graduation. So we conducted a survey to see how many of them would like to have the one quarter capstone back, and how many of them would not like to have it. And it's about 50-50, but we talked to Dr. Bowen, and most probably it will be a put in the curriculum for the spring quarter. Hopefully for the winter quarter as well, but for the spring quarter most probably. And that will have all the students, senior students of this year who would like to be again. Alright, now, but about the future and the other book.
Alright. First of all, I wish you all wholeheartedly welcome to the first General Assembly of the Student Government. For today, I will usually go through our plans of the future. The first cornerstone of our undertaking is the representation and empowerment of our students. We believe that it is our primary duty to serve as the means for projecting the students' voice to higher instances, let it be for complaints, initiatives, protests, creativity, and several other elements. We encourage all students to seek our help in bringing about the ideas that we imagine to implement. We believe that together as a unity we can make big things happen, and by the cooperation with the student government, it's really easy to get what you want and need, so we encourage all of you for taking part in this initiative. Another thing very important here is that we have established contact with our counterpart at RID. All the student governments here and there are considering ways of joint efforts to celebrate our shared values as a community, but also those values that make each campus unique and special. We envision a place where we are going to enhance the student life. First of all, we believe that in this undertaking it is very important to facilitate the proactive academic relationships, meaning that we want to strengthen the A.U.K community altogether. We want to spread the message to all members of this institution that they need to recognize the excellence of A.U.K, as it provides individuals the opportunity to grow personally, but also it provides opportunity for us to embark on our professional journey for the future. So A.U.K is a place where the spirit of leadership and cooperation with students from different cultures work together to understand perspective beyond one's own culture, a place where lifelong networks consisting of skilled and gifted people are formed. We also envision to organize the Inter-Club Council, which basically is the body of the student government, which will facilitate the activities of the clubs and will merge the initiatives and the plans of the clubs with the agenda of the student government. By this, we are going to provide 4 major blocks, building blocks, namely the support and cooperation, but also coordination and transparency. In the past, there have been several issues where these 4 elements have been breached. Therefore, we have placed special attention to these. And I'll continue now with the projects. There will be several projects for this year, and we encourage all students to take part of them and to make a step forward. First of all, I would like to mention the conference, the academic conference TEDx. I assume that all of you are familiar with it. It's a place and a conference which gathers people who have ideas worth mentioning and spreading. So I believe AUK, it is very important for AUK to have such an event, as it provides a very good opportunity to promote our campus and also our culture as a whole. Then I would like to continue with the Baby Tree Farm project, which basically envisions a project that will invade public spaces, and first of all in Pristina with green plantages. And the idea is to plant baby trees, so once they grow a little bit, we will get out of the farm and we'll plant them in several other places. I would like also to continue with the Spring Fest. That is a project that we envision to incorporate a lot of activities. There will be a week of celebration that will be for artistic work, music, sports, and different kinds of events. Then there will be the thematic trips and retreats. There will be a lot of opportunity for us to step back as students who are involved in clubs, especially those students, to sit back and improve and also foster the bond as a community, and to create the network that this institution really deserves to have. As for the end, we have the AUK graduation ball. Unlike other years, we believe that this year the AUK graduation ball has to be very special, because in the previous years there has always been some initiatives that were taken very close to the deadlines. We believe that this year we're going to put special attention to it by starting in the winter quarter, the organization of the ball, and basically spreading the word that is a very glamorous event for our campus, which basically means that people outside of the campus will become aware more of what the values and what happens in AUK overall. So now I would like to continue also with the events. As you probably are aware, this year there are a lot of milestones. First of all, I would like to mention the 100th year of Albania's independence. Then we have the 5th year of Kosovo's independence. To continue with the 10th year of AUK as an institution, and also 10 years of co-ops. In this regard, I would like to state that the co-ops have provided a very good opportunity for Kosovo to increase and also enjoy the benefits that come from the employment of AUK students. Without a doubt, AUK students have made a great contribution and have driven a lot of change in the environment overall. There will be also the in-campus events. There will be sports events, karaoke, beer pong, and everything that comes along with parties and movie nights and everything. There will be also the thematic events. Basically, we have envisioned a plan program for this year that envisions every nightly event to have a special theme attached to it. So basically, all students have to adhere to that theme, or otherwise they will spoil the event. I would like now to continue with the overall big picture of our undertaking. So basically, the time of the student government represents a huge mountain iceberg, but you won't realize that until you approach the end of the spring quarter, when we retrospect our achievements and failures. So basically, by that time, we will really recognize how huge this year was for our community. Now I would like to also mention that this year we have dedicated a lot of our efforts to make more attainable for our students artistic work. We are going to appreciate more artistic work overall by directing efforts to make more attainable these destinations such as theaters, cinemas, galleries, concerts, etc. etc. And now I would like to continue with the presentation of the student government team overall, and I would like to give the floor to Renata.
Okay, so during these 5 weeks, we have also worked, among other things, to have in our team people who have shown in the past that they know how to work and to manage the various situations. I am the president of student government, the John Dewey is the vice president, and we appointed A.U.K as our secretary, and he's here, for those who do not recognize him. And Arvo Vilisha is our treasurer, with his background in this field. I think he makes a very good treasurer. Student life coordinators. For now, we have these 5 student life coordinators. Agil Mojam, Ashan Tejal is not here for the moment. Emrin Rafuna, Krishna Khajiyo, and Ramduma Demi. So, kind of all generations are represented in here, and almost all groups. But of course, very soon the student government will be expanded by the senators who will be elected on Thursday. After that, any student of A.U.K who has an idea for an event to organize or an activity to undertake can come to the student government. They will have the support, and they will have the project managers or project coordinators of their own idea in implementation of the
Yes. How much money does the student government get each year?
It's different for each year because it's this rule that the previous student government, the budget, student government budget for the incoming student government. For this year, it is in total, including the funds for the clubs, A.U.K ball, and all of the parties, it's 7,100 euros. It's a little bit more for the student space for a year. And another thing, yes, 2 other clubs have been formed since this year has started. We have a music club formed, and you have seen the emails most probably that they are inviting new members, and also the management club. In total, now we have 9 clubs. They're all being activated this time, and of course you have to become members and active members of these clubs. It's a very good opportunity for you, and of course there will be rewards for the work you do and for the effort you put in there.
Okay. Yes. I also forgot to mention one critical component of our undertaking, which is that we are urging students this year to join the student government in celebrating the important dates of their culture. Basically, we envision to celebrate important dates of their cultures in the entire community of A.U.K. So, we want to celebrate and raise awareness for all important dates, and for those events and dates that have a global impact, mainly the dates that are very important to the global agenda, whether it be the World Peace Day or World HIV Day, you name it. So basically, if students approach us early, we are going to be helpful and provide assistance in organizing and cherishing these events. For now, I would like also to continue on these footsteps to our conclusion. So basically, all young individuals need a quality education to get what students must be behind it. We have the most to lose when our university is not working right, and the most to gain when it is. So we are urging everyone to get involved. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you.